Hey guys, man, when I was growing up, I heard these stories. They were just stories about Nintendo and PlayStation, Sony coming together to build this ultimate console. And I think it was in between, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, but I think it was in between the Super Nintendo and the 64. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Sounds right. So they were going to team up and make this Nintendo PlayStation. And from what I understand, the deal went south. PlayStation had some things in the fine writing that Sony didn't like. And that's how we actually got the Philips CDI that has the Zelda and the Mario Hotel and stuff, if you know anything about that. But anyway, if this thing would have been made, it would have changed gaming history as we know it. There would be no Sony PlayStation. And the fact that there were prototypes that were made, from what I understand, there were 50 of them. Anyway, I say all this. All those are supposedly destroyed. There is one. And I held it. I held the Holy Grail, Michael. I held her in my hands. It was awesome. I could feel the power. Now I was playing with power. I could feel it, Michael. It was awesome. I loved it so much. I did get an interview with the guys who have it to tell their side of the story. So we're going to cut to that. But before we do, Michael, did I tell these kids to subscribe? Did I tell them thank you for letting me in your home each week? If you're watching this on live TV, thank you. I appreciate that. I know I wouldn't answer the door to me. Let me in my own house. Because I don't, look at this guy. Come on. But you guys do on your television set every week. Thank you so much. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. Come on. Hoo-ha. Throw that little subscribe button out. I don't know which way it comes out. But anyway. I love you guys. And we're going to get to this interview because it's pretty awesome. This is game history right here. Check it out. Okay, guys. Joel Valley from Media Glitch. Super excited to do this episode, man. I am here with
Terry Diebold
and
Dan Diebold.
And if you don't know what's in front of me right now, then you don't know nothing. No, this is it's kind of weird to say, the Nintendo PlayStation. Like, I knew it was going to be here. I didn't think I'd be able to get this close and personal with it. Can I touch it? It's better than I thought it would be. Oh, man. So, man, how you were the one who acquired it. How did that happen? Tell us that story. Go ahead and grab the mic.
All right. If you guys know anything, Olaf Olofsson, he was the president of Sony back in the day, and him and Nintendo, they were actually trying to create the CD-based prototype. They decided at one point in time to go and do it with Philips instead. So what had happened, they recalled all 200 of them and was supposed to destroy them all. Well, apparently Olaf decided to keep one, which was this one here.
Wow.
So he went from Sony being the president there to end up going to work at Advanta at some point in time as a board member. And he actually had this up in his office in New York. And when they closed down the New York office, they packed all his personal stuff up and sent it to our storage area in Horsham. And my director, Bob, back then, and we went over to the warehouse to meet the guys Wayne Moving Storage. And we couldn't figure out for the life of us why we're storing a board member's stuff. But when it's a board member, you don't argue.
Yeah.
So Bob told me to put everything up in the top rack, and I did. So time went by. We purged some of the stuff. Maybe one of the other maintenance workers moved some of the stuff around. And then all of a sudden, Advanta decided to go bankrupt. So when they did go bankrupt, they would go around to the buildings, itemize, and create lists, take pictures, and they decided to have an online auction. So if you wanted to get in on the online auction and sit in the auditorium, you had to get a paddle. So I saw stuff I wanted, which was basically some plates, cups, saucers that from 2 boardrooms that my VP told me to go around and pack up. And when you have like 8 board members, you don't just have 1 plate and cup of sausage. You have like 2 or 3. That way, if one breaks, you put another one down because you can't have any different color. They all have to be the same. So I knew what I was bidding on. And when the bidding come up online, it showed 3 DocuSafe boxes with the lids off. Bidding would start at 25. I bid 50. It went 65. I said 75, and the bidding stopped. People probably thought I was nuts. $75 for 3 boxes of stuff. But I guess they didn't see on screen how many boxes there actually were. So when I won the bid, I went back to the auctioneers, and they showed me this big lot, and I'm like, wait a minute. I knew the guys, and I'm like, all these extra boxes? They go, yeah. So I'm thinking they just didn't want to create more boxes, more items, for more stuff to sell. They just wanted to get rid of stuff. So it took me 2 carloads to get it home. And when I got it home, the boxes that I did sign and write on, I set aside. The boxes I didn't, I started opening, and one had shoes and ties in it, belonged to Olaf Olsson. Another one had a few hundred music CDs in it. And then another one I opened up, it had actually like 4 plaques, one showing his name, and there's 3 other ones that show milestones of what they had done over the years. Right. And it had this unit in there, along with the cartridge. Yeah. And then the actual controller. And when I saw it, I saw a PlayStation. This is cool. It didn't dawn on me, Nintendo PlayStation. Right. So I tried to find information about it online, and then my son steps in.
Right on. And now, so this is where you put it online. I remember when it all hit the internet. Tell us about that experience.
It was quite crazy, really. So, like a while before I actually put the pictures online, was when I commented on that post on Reddit about it, and that was probably like 6 months went by until I actually posted the pictures. So, I made a post saying like, sorry, it's been a while, guys, but here's those pictures I promised you, because he sent me some pictures that he took with his old crappy phone. Yeah, I could have never posted those online. Right. People would have been like, dude, what are you doing?
Like Bigfoot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not Bigfoot, it's too blurry.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I posted these pictures online, and then I went out that night with a bunch of friends from high school I hadn't seen in a while. My phone died. Ended up sleeping on my friend's couch. Woke up next morning, went to my mom's house, plugged my phone in, and it just started going crazy. Like, it started ringing right when I turned it on, all this stuff. I picked up the phone, guy Brian from Polygon. He says, is this Dan Diebold, the guy who posted the pictures of Nintendo PlayStation online? I'm like, yeah, how'd you get my phone number, dude? Like, what's going on? He's like, I found it on your LinkedIn account. And I was like, all right, maybe I should take that off my LinkedIn account. So, yeah, he asked me to make a video, and that's the video that got over 1 million views, just a minute and a half. I just ran over to his house real quick. Just to prove that I actually took the pictures and stuff. Wow. But yeah, I've gotten a lot of hate. Doesn't matter, we still get hate. People still think it's fake for some reason. Really? Had a couple people threatening us and stuff like that. Some weird people out there. Wow. People are asking too. Oh, you got Half-Life 3 up in your attic too? No. So,
and you guys are here at the Game On Expo here in Mesa, Arizona, checking it out. For the haters, for the non-believers, I can tell you right now, it looks pretty damn real to me. I mean, it's there. I mean, you can't. If this was fake for any reason, you guys are the greatest prop masters I've ever seen, and I work in movies, and I want to hire you today. But that's smart. But man, it's pretty awesome to see here. You hear about this as a kid, and the history behind it. That Sony and Nintendo were once going to make a system together. And if it would have happened, we probably wouldn't have a PS2, a PS1, a PS4, PS3, like all those things that we have now. It's just, this is video game history right here, and it's amazing to see it. It's amazing to see it. I don't know if there's, and these Famicom games, Super Famicom games, work with that, from what I understand. And what's this in the cartridge? A debug cartridge. So yeah, it's not even region locked either. The only thing that's physically stopping you from playing Super Nintendo games is the fact it won't fit in there. But gotcha. This piece is modular. It's a completely separate piece. We found that out the hard way. Okay. But my dad was going to pull it out of the case one day, and he grabbed it from the back, and it popped off. I almost had a heart attack.
I got beat up pretty bad.
So I'm thinking they had another piece that you could pop on, and it would, fit Super Nintendo cartridges. And this controller is amazing. You'll never see something like this. Sony PlayStation on it, and then on the back there's it says Nintendo. Yeah, and it has the Famicom logo right next to the PlayStation. It's so wild to see that. So, man, that's gaming history right there. And man, I really appreciate you guys for your time and for the interview. Thank you for letting me touch it.
If people want to know more about it, tell them to watch Ben Heck's YouTube videos, episode 246, 247.
Ben Heck. Replace those 3 capacitors that you see right there on the board. The drive wasn't receiving any power before. He replaced the capacitors. Now the drive spins up, powers up, ejects, and everything. The laser diode's broken, so it won't read any discs. But like I was saying before, we did order another drive. That should be coming in soon. And then hopefully, if anybody's going to Portland Retro Gaming Expo, we should be there. And Ben should be doing like a live repair on the diode. And then hopefully, we'll be playing some disc-based games.
That would be awesome.
And that'll be the oldest, rarest console, totally functionable on the planet.
Do they have? Is there a value here? Have they ever valued it?
The highest offer we've received is around $200,000.
$200,000. All right.
But Christie's, our buddy Dixon over in Hong Kong went to Christie's, and they said basically it's priceless because it's one of a kind.
At it, they just said we can't really appraise it because we have nothing to base it off of or anything like that. So,
Listen. I got $5 in my pocket right now.
You might as well keep stepping, brother.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show again. I appreciate it. Nice meeting you, and thank you so much. That's awesome.